Hello, welcome back to Healing Mama podcast. I am Val, aka Healing Mama, and today is episode 17, the Mother's Day episode. I do have a very special guest with me here today, my beautiful baby, Jalen. I did ask my son if he wanted to join, but he's very shy, so it'll just be the two of us, and maybe one day I can have him on as well. But I'm excited to have you on, Miss Jalen. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate it. All right. So I have two quotes, and then Jalen has some quotes, and then we'll kind of get into the episode and go from there. So my first quote is, to the mamas healing their emotional trauma and trying to raise emotionally healthy children, you are doing powerful work for this planet. Keep going. The second quote is, I have been a depressed mom, a sad mom, a happy mom, a mean mom, a drained mom, a broke mom, a stable mom, an unstable mom, but I've tried to be the best mom that I could be, no matter what.
My quote was, we might argue, but our love is stronger than any disagreement.
I love it. Okay. Now tell me why you chose that, or what you like about that quote.
It's because I feel like we argue a lot, because we're always with each other. And I feel like at least one side of the day, we're always going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of the day, you're always come cuddle with me. You'll be come watch a movie with you. I miss you.
Mm-hmm.
And
You feel like that's us.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And for mine, I liked both of them, but the one that I could relate to the most, I am healing with that first quote, but the second one is really the one that I felt I could relate to, because I have been a depressed mom, and you've seen me go through those stages. I've been a sad mom, seen me go through that, a happy mom, a mean mom. Speaking of mean moms, I was watching some videos on Daddy's phone yesterday, and it was an ugly feeling because
really?
yes, yes, it was an ugly feeling. At the same time, it was a good feeling. So it was bad and good. So the bad part was that was back in the time before I started taking my medication for depression, and I was so mean. I was so mean, and not only to you, I was mean to Daddy. I was just you can see in my face, I was angry, I was unhappy, and I'm I actually looked like this? Why didn't anybody snap me out of it? And it made me feel so bad because you guys had to deal with me in that kind of mood, and it made me sad. But the good that I saw in it was Daddy was so there for you guys. He has videos of you. Yeah, you might not think he was, but he has videos of when I was going through those times. You and Daddy were making videos, laughing, joking, and he was keeping you happy. So it just made me think, what if we were both going through it at that time? How miserable would you have been? But you had Daddy to kind of hold you up. And I know that you guys aren't as close, but in looking at that video, I was able to see it from an outside perspective and be wow, Daddy has really been there when I couldn't be there. As much as you don't want to give him credit, he has been. So it's a video that I want to send to you because you'll see it. You'll see that Daddy was there, and you'll also see that I was struggling, and I didn't see then how much I was struggling and how ugly I was. It was generally I was so unhappy with myself that it was portraying, and I looked so mean, and I was mean to Daddy. One time I'm what? But I don't know, it was just sad. And so we'll go ahead and get started with some questions that I have for you, and it kind of dives into all of this. So what is something you have learned or can take away from seeing me struggle and going through depression, sadness, and my healing journey? Learned or can take away from seeing me struggle and go through my healing journey?
Something I can take away
And that you've learned?
Yeah, I feel like you kept to yourself a lot, and I feel like you didn't really say anything. I didn't know anything about it until one time you told me something, And then I like started like being, like, I don't know why, but in like, for me, whenever I think of parents, just as much as it's my first time living, like it's their first time too. And so, um, that's when I was like, dang, like she really can feel like how I'm feeling. But even though like you're way older, but like way older. No, because I told you something about how I was feeling, and we were in a car, and then you were like, "Can I tell you something?" And then I was like, "Yeah," and you were like, "Oh, I've been feeling like how you've been feeling," and then I was like, "Oh shoot, like what the heck?"
She could feel that way too.
But she has no reason to be. But I feel like, I feel like you just like didn't tell anyone anything for like the longest time, and I feel like if that was me in the future, that I would tell somebody sooner. Yeah, like, did you take time to tell Daddy?
Yeah. Daddy's actually the one who called me out on it. It was like, hey, something's wrong. Because I just wanted to be so strong in myself. And I thought that I was like fooling everybody and still being like this normal mommy, this normal, strong mommy. But in looking back at the video, like I said last night, I wasn't normal me. I was so mean. So you feel like you would tell somebody sooner that you were struggling.
Yeah, I feel like the person like I got married to, I feel like I would tell them before they would tell me something.
Yeah.
Because if they're telling me something and it's clearly like
Bad.
showing and it's like affecting the thing around me so bad to the point where you need to tell me something.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Okay. And what was the hardest part seeing you? What was the hardest part of you seeing me struggle like that?
I think that it was like, because when people react a certain way, it's like people always have a reason to react a certain way. So I feel like whenever you like would like be mad at us for no reason, it's like she's not just getting mad at you because like she's an angry person. Like something makes you angry and something makes you like act the way that you act. Like if you're happy, something makes you happy. If you're sad, something's gonna make you sad. So if you're angry, something made you angry. And so, and like we're angry all the time.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I just like felt myself on to like make you feel that way.
Did you ever feel like it was your fault?
Maybe when you were like getting mad at us. Like,
Yeah. And that was hard for you.
I guess it's kind of normal after.
But it should never be normal.
Yeah, but it was happening for so long.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I'm sorry that you felt that way. And I'm glad that you can learn to take away what you would do differently, because that means you're seeing things from like a better perspective than I saw things. And so like the way that I am growing and I'm learning is that like, okay, like my mom did things one way, right? And then I'm doing things another way. And so there is change throughout the generations. So while my mom didn't want to talk about it, right? That was her, like, you don't say how you feel. We're going to get in a bubble. And then me, I was still in that semi bubble. So like half of the bubble had popped and the other bubble was still there. So like it was 50-50 to where now working through those generations and, you know, me wanting to be better and you wanting to be better, which I always want you to be better than what I am. So to see and hear you say that you would change that, that's amazing. Advice. Because that means that you're learning to take care of yourself better and younger than what I am. I'm 35 years old and you're 15 years old and you're like, I would change this and I would do this differently. So that makes me happy. I mean, it doesn't make me happy that I hurt you, but it makes me happy that we're learning and we're growing and we're changing and evolving and we're breaking those generational curses, because that's what it is. All right, next question. What is one piece of advice me or your father has given you that has stuck with you? So something you're like, you know what? This is what my mom and my dad said, or
It kind of is advice, but you just tell me in general. And it's like so simple, but you tell me like to use my words a lot. And I feel like I like think about that a lot because I feel like using your words is like such an important part, like for a lot of people. And like just like in friendships or relationships or anything. Because like if something's going on in your friendship, like you gotta like talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, it's never gonna go away, and it's just gonna be an existing problem until you talk about it.
Okay, so let's give them some context. When do I tell you to use your words?
When I'm like in my feelings about like if I'm mad or I'm sad, and I just like put on my AirPods or go on my phone, and then like you'll be like, use your words, and then you'll be like, if you don't want like I don't have to like talk about it.
Yeah. So I give you the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I just want you to learn to express yourself. So I do tell her to use her words so that way she's not feeling stuck in that emotion. And so I love that. So use your words. Do you feel like, have you ever told anybody, like, hey, we're feeling some type of way. Let's use our words.
Like if I'm putting your advice,
Do you ever?
maybe.
Okay. Do you feel like that helps?
Yeah, because then they like start talking to me about like how they feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can understand them more. And sometimes people just need you to listen to them. That was like an episode I did a while back, how like you're the one who's like teaching me, like sometimes I need to listen, sometimes I need to respond, and sometimes I need to fix things. But most of the time you generally just want me to listen without a response. And that's something that has been hard for me. Like truly.
Because
yeah, I'm a fixer. So it's like I'm like, oh, like, and
you're like, if this is happening, this is what you gotta do.
exactly. And so I'm a fixer, so I'm trying to learn to be this listener and this non-fixer. And at the end of the day, learn that if it's gonna something you're gonna do is gonna hurt you, I gotta let you hurt, because then you're not gonna learn. But that part of me being your mom and the fixer,
you don't want me to hurt.
exactly. So I'm like, if I can shelter her and I can keep her from this, I'm gonna do it. But then at the same time, that shuts you down from speaking to me, because you're like, okay, I don't want to talk to her because she's just gonna try to fix it. So that's been tough and something that I've worked through, and I'm not good at it. Like I generally am not. I'm working towards it and trying to learn and grow. But as you're learning and growing with you, and what I feel like parenting is like, I know what my parents did that I wanted to do different with you. And I am parenting you, and you're like, hey, I don't like my mom doing this. I don't like her doing this, my dad doing this. And then you're going to turn around and be different. So just think about the level of how much better your kids are going to have their life versus when I had my life and you had your life. Like, they should have a freaking amazing life. So I love that. Okay. What is the biggest thing I've done wrong in my life, in your opinion? It's a good one. Be fully transparent. We don't hold back here. Just lay it all on the table.
So it needs to be a good answer.
It just needs to be the truth. What is something, when you look at my life in any kind of aspect, parenting, love, relationships, life in general, what is something you feel that I've done wrong in my life?
You said relationships.
Anything.
Okay. Okay, so when I first started dating this person, you automatically told me that they were playing me.
Okay. All right. So that was something that I did wrong, that you feel I did wrong.
Yeah, like I feel like if I didn't have that mindset, like people just telling me that like they're gonna hurt me or they're gonna play me, like they're just like automatically will make you think that they're gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have that intention.
Okay.
But people are gonna play on it.
How would you have done it differently as a parent?
I don't know. Well, I think you told me that because I was telling you like the drama. I was telling you what was going on, and you were like, "He's playing." I feel like, since you like told me that, it did kind of. I think I told them that you told me that actually, and um, and yeah, like it kind of made me overthink. But I feel like if I was a parent and my kid was telling me about like the drama, like I wouldn't tell them like negative things, because like if they're telling me the drama was already negative, so why am I to be like, nah, they're playing you? Like,
yeah, you would be that safe place.
Yeah, like I would try to like, because I'm like I have like I'm full of empathy.
You're empathetic.
And so I feel like whenever people tell me problems, I just like try my best to relate to them. Like even if it's not the same situation, I get a situation that's kind of similar, and I'm like trying to like feel like, oh yeah, this is like how I felt when I was going through that, and like I'm gonna try to be like, oh yeah, I know it feels like this and this, and I'll be like, oh, it does feel like this and then.
Okay, so you feel like listening to your kid versus like putting something out there and being like, hey, they're cheating on you or they're talking to other people. You would just listen and be like, hey, I understand. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Taking notes, taking notes. All right. If I could do one thing to make our relationship better, what would it be?
um, I genuinely think that we need to like it's like something you said something that you could do, right? But I feel like you can't do it by yourself.
It would be an us thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like we know each other pretty well, and we know how we talk to each other and how we act with each other. And I feel like sometimes we just be spicy, knowing that the other one is gonna be spicy back. And then when they actually are spicy back,
You don't like it.
yeah, and then you like you're like you'd be like, don't be disrespectful. Or you'll be like, okay, you're right here, bring it down right here. But you came at me right here, so I was right here.
You were trying to meet me. Meet my spice.
Because I feel like we both know that we're spicy.
Okay. So be less spicy with each other.
I just feel like we need to watch like how we say stuff and like what we say, because like in the car yesterday, how like I was being spicy or whatever.
You have to give our viewers context.
It was, I don't remember what it was. You said something. Oh no, I said something, and I was like, what did I say? Like, do you know what I'm fighting about? We were coming back from the store, I think, and or no, it was the mall, and then I was like, cause like I like talk without thinking, so I was like, okay, but like I didn't ask. If
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
it was the way you said it. Like you were like, I didn't ask. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes.
You like,
You were here. I was over here.
but I'm like always right here.
Okay, so basically, learning to work to not be here, to try to stay down here, like down. And tell me, what is something you feel? I guess backtrack. Does it make you feel any type of way that you've seen me like for this last year going through like healing journey, meditation, trying to like hump my brakes, not be like "Rah," in your face ready to fight people?
In the beginning, I kind of done.
Okay. Talk to me. Why? Oh, you still think that's done?
Because I went to this class with you.
Access bars. Access bars.
And
For the subconscious mind.
it was like, we went to that class, and we were like the only people in the class.
Yeah.
The hiking wasn't even bad, but I feel like
It was different.
Yeah, like, what do you mean lay on the table and you're gonna like put your hands on my head?
Yeah. Okay. So a little judgmental of it.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just like
I've
it's
never done
different.
anything.
Or you don't know people who have done it.
Yeah. So it was just like
Out there.
I think just scrolling too much on TikTok.
Okay. Okay.
And so I feel like as you like continue to try, I wouldn't say like fix yourself, but like
Heal.
yeah. Like as you're doing that, I feel like when we see you do that and like you put the stuff that has made you heal on us, it like helps us like, oh, like, well, we're seeing you do this, this, and this. So it's like we're gonna know like what to do in that situation or how to deal with that situation
In the future.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So at first it was weird and like hippy dippy and like what? Like
or like glasses, rainbow colors, and the peace signs.
okay, got it. No, and I get it. And I feel like a lot of the times things are weird, like the healing journey, right? It's like the meditation and doing things differently. if it's the outside looking in, like nobody really does that we know of. Like we have a big family on Nana's side, and everybody is like religious and church. And so that's like the sense of like normal, like, okay, you're going through something, like, go to church, pray.
But we're not religious and we don't go to church.
Exactly.
So I feel like you need to like deal with it.
Yes, exactly. And so my way has been spiritual, connecting, grounding, going, putting my feet on the grass, doing things differently. So it's like for you to see this and be like, okay, like this isn't normal. Like not everybody's just going outside putting their foot on the grass trying to ground. So it's like something that it's different. And so I totally get that. And I feel like in a sense, some people are afraid to do what's different when it comes to healing.
Yeah, because they don't do it.
Yeah, because it's looked at weirdly. Like, why is this person putting her feet on the ground, meditating, closing her eyes, or doing whatever it is? Like, why is this person touching my head and doing access bars telling me they're gonna reset my subconscious mind? Like it's different and it's out there, but it's like different strokes for different folks, whatever worked for them. So I always tell people on this podcast, like, if you're religious or you're not religious, like I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what works for me. And so I love that you have different options. And I've always told you, like, do you want to go to church? Because I want to do whatever is good for you. I want to support you in your path, even if that means my path isn't necessarily the same. So, okay. And what do you wish you could tell everyone about me that would help them understand me a little bit more?
Help them understand you.
Yeah, like if somebody was like, tell me how to understand your mom, her mindset, what she's been through, what she's thinking.
I feel like some people, like, if something like bad happened or like someone like passed away, they like don't talk about it because like who wants to talk about that? But I feel like you have to, like, as if you really cared that much and wanted to like know that person so much, you would see how they went from like their worst part to like it's like not like a like really like hurting. So like if you really wanted to get to know you, like they're gonna be around. They're gonna be around for some time. And they have to like see that you went from the start to finish.
The start was
The start was like you like didn't really talk about it whenever you were talking about it. It would be like, Jalen, cover my ears.
Yes.
Sorry, because the song meant them, but then now you say that song like
I can hear it.
yeah, and like
Healed.
you listen to it, yeah. So I feel like they just have to like, it's not something that you could do or say, or no, it's not something that you could say to you to like make you like wanna like get closer, like understand you. It's just it's like the actions speak louder than words. Like you can't just come into your life and then start like talking because like if they just came into your life, you're not gonna want to like spill everything on them. Like, girl, I don't know you. And then but if you've been around, like you could be asking you questions throughout the way to the finish line, and y'all already be closer because they were with you the whole way.
And so you saw the transformation.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question to wrap this up. How would you describe me to somebody who doesn't know, to your friends?
I would say, because like I do this, because like a lot of people like tell me like, because like you know like where we live like everyone's like parents are older, so like they'll be like, oh like I wish like I had a younger mom, and when I look at your mom, she's not that young.
Thanks. Appreciate it. She's pretty old.
She's pushing 7.
Oh, I wish.
I told them that yeah, you're like shy, but like you're gonna talk to them. Like you're not like not in a bad way, but you're not like that. You're like
Shy.
your daddy, like he'll just like drive us to wherever we want to go, and then you'll be like, oh like hi, and then like this wasn't like I don't know, or you'll be like Eli, say hi, like instead of just like getting be like awkward.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Do you have anything you want to tell the viewers, share with them? Do you have anything you'd like to share with our listeners?
Make me TikTok. No, I'm just kidding. That's it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you joining today. I had to really pull some teeth. I've been asking you for quite a while, so thank you for joining me. And to everyone, we appreciate you taking the time to listen, watch, stream, however you are following us. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Podcastle. And I send you so much love, peace, joy, and happiness. And until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.